Hello and welcome to another one of my films. Today I'm going to go and find someone quite special, and that person is Oskar Schindler. Oskar Schindler was a German factory owner and Nazi Party member who was credited with saving nearly 1,200 Jews during the Second World War. He was a very complex man. Born in Moravia in the Czech Republic to a Catholic family, as a businessman he was quite unscrupulous, dealing with bribery and the black market on a regular basis. Whilst born as a Czech citizen, he was actually ethnically German and worked for Nazi counterintelligence, the Abwehr. It's often felt this duplicity of character later helped him when he was creating his list. He'd actually been involved in the planning of the Nazi invasion of Poland, and ever the business opportunist, he moved to Krakow and took over a Jewish-owned enamelware factory. This, however, was very close to the Jewish ghetto, where he witnessed the brutality. He admitted after the war that after overcoming his inner cowardice, there was no other choice but to help. Schindler built up his workforce with Jewish forced labourers, particularly from the Plaza labour camp. Because of his Abwehr connections, this allowed him to keep his staff safe, but over time, the bribes had to become much bigger. 1944, and it was apparent the war was lost, but the Nazi SS still poured resources into the final solution, even to the detriment of German armed forces. Schindler spoke with the commandant of Plaza camp to save his workers from deported to death camps such as Auschwitz. He had the pretext of moving his factory to Czechoslovakia to make Nazi weapons. There were actually several lists done by very different people, but all of them were under the guidance and instruction of Oskar Schindler. Up to 1,200 Jews were saved, but even though he'd been wealthy, all the bribes and monies he'd spent looking after his workers meant he was actually living on payments from Jewish assistance organisations. He became a farmer in Argentina, but after bankruptcy, returned home alone to Germany in 1958. A string of failed businesses followed, and he relied on money from Schindler Juden, the people he'd actually saved. When he passed in 1974, he was buried here on Mount Zion, the only former member of the Nazi Party to have this honour. In 1993, he and his wife Emil, who often would tend medically to their workers, were honoured by the Israeli government as righteous amongst the nations. So let's go and find his final resting place. What an incredible vista. So we just go down here. I always remember, as I'm sure most of you do watching, if you've seen the film, it was horrific. And my abiding memory always is going to the bathroom at the end of the film and just all the men in there were just crying. Nothing had to be said. The grave is very easy to spot. The reason being, people bring stones to place up on top of it, and I've done just the same. So, wow, this is quite moving. Just stand on one side here. So, Oskar Schindler, how many people must owe their lives to him over generations? Wow. I'm really glad I've come. I'm really glad I've come. I'll just leave you actually with where he is. That is some vista. I guess as befits a man such as Oskar Schindler. Thank you for watching.